Good morning, students. In the today's session, we'll learn about socket programming. This is the first experiment of our lab. Okay. Now see here, first we'll start learning about what is mean by client-server communication. Okay. Now in this part, I'm going to explain you a very basic one-way client-server setup where a client connects, sends messages to the server and shows them using the connection. For example, if we have a client, okay, we have a communication between this client as well as the server. Here when we have this client server communication, here once the client is connected to the server, okay, once the client is connected to the server, then we have a proper communication between the client and server, okay. Now here now we are going to establish a socket connection. Okay. To connect to another machine, we need a socket connection. This socket connection means here we have the two machines have the information about each other network location. Okay. Now here, first we have to create with a socket. This is your IP address and then we have this socket number. Okay. And next here, now we'll see about with the program. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you the complete explanation about the client and server. Here, whenever first we start working with a client, okay, here we'll write a simple Java program to connect from the client to the server. Okay, for this first we'll start with our like import java.io.star. Okay, next here java.net.star to connect to the username and password. Okay, now here, first private socket with socket, this is empty. Socket we have to create and one input stream we have to create and one output stream we have to create. And the client is going to connect with the address. Here we have to give the proper address as well as the port number. Okay, here we have to give the proper address as well as the port number. Next, here socket we have created one socket with a socket address and port number. Now this socket is here, if it is connected, it is going to print a statement as connected. Okay. Now, to read the data from the user, the input stream we have to use it. Input is equals to new data input stream. Okay. And system.in means it is useful to scan the data or to read the data from the user. Now, output is equals to new data output stream. Okay. Now, here once if there is any error occurs, then it is going to be stored in the try. Okay, here new socket address comma port, it is connected. Okay, next this part is finished. If there is any error occurs, that means it is going to be handled by the catch. Okay, and here catch IO exception. Now here we have to read the message from the user. Here we have to read the message from the user. Okay. Now we'll see with the server also. Okay. Just we have finished with the client program. Now we'll see with the server program. In the server program also, here from the client program, we have to connect with the server. Now here what we are doing, here also we are going to create one socket and one server as well as input stream. Okay. Here whenever we are writing any Java program, the complete we are going to write in the try block. Okay. Now, if the server is connected, new server socket with a port number. Now, we are going to say that the server was started. Okay. Once the server is started, then only the client can able to connect to the server. Once the server is started, then only the client can able to connect with the server. Okay. Now, we'll see the execution part of this program. Here, we have to open two command prompts. One command prompt is for the server, another is for the client. Okay. Java C. First, we have to execute the server. Server.java. Okay. Java server. Here, This server was started and it is waiting for the client. Okay. And it is waiting for the client. We have to open two command prompt. One is client, another one is the server. Already we have started with the client. Okay. Now cd c java c client.j. Okay. Now Java client. Here the client is complete. Whatever message I'm going to type, it is going to display at the server. Here I've just messages hi. Now we can see the same message at the server side. So, yes, hi message. Okay. Now we have finished just with the client server connect. Okay. Here now the first argument for this program is the IP address, then with the server, then we have to give the proper TCP port. Now the communication is to communicate over a socket connection. The streams are used to use it both in input and as well as the output of the data. Okay. Once it was completed, we have to close the proper connection. The socket connection is closed explicitly once the message is sent to the server. Okay, and to run the terminal, as I have already explained in the command prompt, just first we have to start with the server. Once the server is started, it is going to wait for the client. Okay, then we have to execute the client application. Once the client is accepted, whatever message you are going to type at the client side, it is going to be printed at the server side. Okay, see you in the next class.